Yo, what is going on, everybody? My name is Mr. Spade, and we have some pistol gameplay right here using the 5.7 handgun with the silencer. Now, I will get into my class setup later and how to use the pistol, how I use the pistol anyways, and how much fun the pistol really is and why I think it is an underrated gun in this game. But first, I'd like to show you guys a little beastly couple clips that I got just to show you what I can really do with the pistol and what you guys can eventually do with the pistol once you master it and learn how to use it. So, guys, sit back and relax, enjoy these next little clips, and I shall see you all back here in a minute. Alrighty then, I hope you guys enjoyed that mini montage of sorts. I apologize I didn't have the most beastly of clips, but that's the best I could get on short notice. The pistols, let me get out of the way real quickly, are not assault rifles. They are not SMGs, they are not LMGs. You cannot use these guns like you would a fully automatic, and it takes a while to get used to. You won't be able to pick these guns up really quickly and start being able to use them really well right away, unless you have amazing trigger finger and unless you have amazing tactics and past experience with single shot guns like the FAL or the pistols themselves from the previous Call of Duties. Now, using a pistol as a primary weapon is a lot different than using a pistol just as your secondary weapon when you pull out when you're out of ammo. This is a gun that you have to get used to using at all different ranges, which can be very tricky to get used to. So guys, don't give up if you start doing bad right away, and I guarantee you, you will do bad your first game you try and use your pistol as a secondary, unless, as I stated, you are a bo-dala-dala, which is a boss. So, first of all, let's get into what type of pistols you want to use. There are two main pistols that I use right now, and that is the 5.7. The 5.7 is the one that I'm using right now, and this is the gun that I would suggest starting out with when you're getting used to your pistoling career. This is a fairly high damage output gun compared to the other pistols. That is, it's still a pistol, of course, so don't run around like it's an assault rifle, as I said. But this is fairly good. I would suggest running with a silencer when you're getting used to it at first, so you can stay off the radar, get used to using the pistols, get used to moving around the map with a pistol, get used to the different ranges. That way, when you're staying off the radar and still trying to get used to a new gun, it is very helpful for you to get used to that gun without getting in the way of those guys who are looking at their radar 24/7 in the corners. So, moving on from that, I would suggest using the Magnum, the 44 Magnum, as your other pistol that you would use when starting off. This pistol is very strong, high damage output, but it is not quite as accurate as the 5.7, so I would definitely suggest using the akimbo attachment while using this gun. It allows you to spray guys down just a little bit quicker and get a little bit higher spread, just because it's not quite as accurate, so you can be guaranteed to hit the guy at least a couple times. Now, saying this, you would definitely need steady aim, and that brings us into our next category, which would be the custom class setup you need to use while using pistols. The first perk that you need to use, always, you must use this first tier perk when being successful with a pistol. You must use sleight of hand. Now, sleight of hand is there because you just need to reload a lot faster, because you run out of clip very quickly when encountering an enemy. You will spray through that clip very fast, and if there's more than one guy, maybe even two guys, you might be able to pick off two with one round. If there's more than two, you are definitely going to die if you do not have sleight of hand. However, if you do have sleight of hand, you have a little bit more of a fighting chance, so definitely pick up that sleight of hand perk as your tier 1 perk. Second tier, I would suggest you using quick draw. This is very helpful for pistols that are not akimboed, for example the 5.7 with the silencer, which I'm using now, as you can pull up your sights a lot faster than if you did not have this. This is very helpful, especially because when you're using a pistol, you just need to get on target a lot faster than your enemy, just because the enemy probably has a higher powered gun than you. And let's face it, the pistols are not strong, so in order to be successful, you do need to be able to get on target as fast as possible. The final perk I would suggest using is Stalker. Now, Stalker is really only helpful when you are using a single pistol, which is not akimboed, because it allows you to move a little bit faster while aiming down sights. This is, again, goes back to the whole accuracy thing. You need to be a lot faster while aiming down sights, therefore tracking onto your enemy quicker than they can track onto you, which overall helps. Now, for using akimbo, for the second tier slot, I would suggest using something like Hardline, Assassin, or Blast Shield. Any of those will work. And for the third tier slot, definitely use steady aim. That is an obvious dead giveaway. You need to have steady aim when using a pistol that is akimbo, just because, well, it's akimbo. You need to have that tighter spread so that you don't go all over the map with your pistol, and you can actually hit the guy from a decent range with akimbos. So, now that we've gone to the perks, let's go into the strike package. Finally, you need to use the specialist strike package. The reason why is just because you need a little bit more perks than what you are given. You need more than 3 perks. First of all, you need scavenger. Scavenger is essential if you are planning on only using the pistol, just because it runs out of ammo so quickly. The pistols that unless you want to pick up another gun or use your primary, then you definitely need scavenger on. So that's your first specialist perk you need. The second specialist perk you need would be something along the lines of extreme conditioning, just so you can move around quicker around the map. As pistols, you need to get around quickly to your enemies and get behind them. Third perk, you can choose whatever the hell you want. If you don't have steady aim on, I would suggest grabbing that. If you don't have quick draw, I would suggest grabbing that. You can make common sense out of the third specialist perk. So it looks as though we actually have run out of time, so that's pretty much my basic create a class outline for the pistols. Of course, I didn't get into tactics this time, but hopefully I'll get into that next time. I'll do a follow-up video to this, and I'll probably have some more pistol series coming with you in the next little while. I might collaborate with one of my friends, Hoopla. We're not quite sure yet if we're going to end up doing that, but if we will, that'll be a lot of fun, and there will be a pistol series coming in the near future. Hope you guys are looking forward to that, and if you enjoyed, please give a thumbs up. It really helps me out a lot, and I'll see you later. Deuces.